Hello, welcome to the Mindtrack.net server. I'm currently on the Enterprise B with my friend here, BrainPop. He's the fellow builder of the Enterprise C, and we're working on his nacelle project. We just got done laying out catwalks. He's going through and tweaking them, filling them in, and doing what he does best, which is come up with really cool ideas. And Lupus just joined us. I'm sorry, I know I'm butchering your name, Lupolis. You'll just have to bear with me or hit me with a baseball bat later. This is the starboard nacelle. These are Buzzard collectors designed by BrainPop. This is going to be some large engineering room within the nacelle. It seems logical given the space. This is a warp core or warp field booster. It's kind of like a turbocharger on a car. This is a BrainPop 14 design. It's pretty cool, if you ask me. I don't know much about Star Trek engineering, but I do understand the concept, and these here are nacelles designed by iPanic and DeBomb 7.2, and we imported them into the nacelle, or I should say we moved them into the nacelle and set up all this other stuff, and Brain's been in here working diligently for the last couple of weeks to make it look perfect. I think he's doing an outstanding job, and I can't wait to see how it all comes together. Anyways, I'll zip back over here. I have to apologize for the mic levels on my last couple of recordings. I dropped the ball. I'm new at this. I'm still learning it. The Corsair software had the mic set really, really low for some reason. I didn't catch it. My levels seemed fine to me, but obviously they weren't. So hopefully this will have fixed the problem, and I'll find out later when I upload this short video to YouTube. Anyways, of course, this here's the power lead from the warp core, which I showed you, I think, in my first video. Yeah, this is the pylons. Anyways, the warp core is way the heck over there in the center of the ship. It comes up, or it comes back, then up through the ship, and into this system here, and of course right up into where Brain's working, which is the starboard nacelle. Let's go take a real quick look at his work over here. I assume this room's going to be all enclosed, and it's the reason it's being set up, whoops, getting a little frame drop there. It's being set up this way is in order to allow it to have an atmosphere and a workspace for the engineering crew. These appear to be control rooms for the nacelle. And of course you see the Enterprise D here, and we're on the B, as in boy. These are just decorative. There's not much we can do with them, I mean, unless we have separate resource packs for every ship, which is distinctly possible. We might see that actually happening. Anyways, I assume all these are going to be filled in with this texture, or this block here, maybe some glass. Probably glass around this up here. Little stairway going down, and then another little stairway over here. And then this obviously goes out down the nacelle. That's a pretty cool idea, Brain. I gotta admit, this is a pretty nifty idea right here, buddy. I don't know much about, like I said, the engineering behind this stuff. I'm sure this is basically a work in progress. It will be changed or modified or tweaked as guys with more knowledge about how warp cores work and stuff come along and say, you can't do that. You must do this. And of course, they'll change it around. Brain's pretty cool about that. He's real adaptive. Comes up with some really cool ideas. I'm sure the bluntness of all this will get polished up as time goes on. This is, of course, the Enterprise C, a major work in progress, and we pass through the wall. Get rid of that, and I'll go ahead and just switch off these blocks so we can get a better view of the ship. This is the exterior area of the ship. We're still working on parts of it, of course. Trying to get it dialed in and looking good. These are some sort of sensor venting structure on the neck, which is being worked on. And this was the area I was working on last before I started helping Brain. Deflector. I'm not real happy with how the room looks. Lupolis is in here helping me, so hopefully he can come up with some better ideas and help, you know, flesh out the room. He was also helping me fill in this catwalk, or excuse me, these corridors, because these will all be walled in like above us. This is of course a Jefferies tube access point, and it'll be mirrored. This deck here will probably be mirrored up and moved over one so that you kind of get a cascading effect as it slopes down and around to kind of match the hull. So it's an ongoing process. It's a lot of fun designing these ships, especially the interior spaces, and I hate to say it, it's addictive. It helps for those of us who you know, have that kind of mindset where we have to be focused all the time. These builds seem childish to a lot of people, but in great, you know, they're a hobby to us, like building models or flying paper airplanes or whatever you want to do with them. This is what we do. So this will be a this will be a navigational computer core. I almost called it a warp core. It's not a warp core. This is a magazine for the forward torpedo bay. There'll be a lower magazine and an upper magazine. And the upper magazine's 2 levels. You can see it from here. This will be filled with torpedoes. This will be filled with torpedoes, and there'll be a catwalk across here and a loading system. And it'll fire up to, I think, 4 torpedoes at one time. So this ship, unfortunately, gets its ass kicked in a fight with Romulan ships. They were ambushed, protecting some planet or responding to some distress call. People that are versed in Star Trek know a lot more about the history of this ship than I do. All I know is that its first appearance was in an episode called Yesterday's Enterprise by Eric Stilwell, written by Eric Stilwell. It was a pivotal episode in Star Trek because prior to that, Star Trek was boring. After that, Star Trek was interesting. And this ship comes through a temporal rift or whatever and changes the present into an alternate reality, and it's beat the heck out of it. I mean, it has holes all over it, and history recorded that it was lost with all hands, and then they find out that it was attacked by Romulan warships in defense of a Klingon. It was defending a Klingon colony from the Romulans and was destroyed. Anyways, the surviving crew of this ship volunteered to go back through the warp point or time vortex thingy and reset history. And of course, Tasha Yar, one of the lead characters from Star Trek Next Generation, goes with them, and that is that. You'd have to watch the episode. It's been a long time since I've seen it. At any point, I'm going ahead and stop the recording here. I've mumbled on long enough. Again, I apologize for the bad audio. Hopefully this audio is better. If not, please forgive me as I continue to work on figuring out what the hell to do. Like always, have a good day, and this is the Mindtrek.net server. Goodbye.